The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, is responsible for providing best-in-class data and information that helps people make science-based decisions, especially at the local level, where planning for an uncertain future is the most difficult and where decision makers may need technical support. Our mission to better understand our natural world and to help protect its precious resources extends beyond national borders to monitor global weather and climate and to work with partners from around the world. From daily weather forecasts, severe storm warnings, and climate monitoring to fisheries management, coastal restoration, and supporting maritime commerce, NOAA's products and services support economic vitality and affect more than 1/3 of America's gross domestic product. And working under the broad themes of climate, weather, air quality, and ocean and coastal resources, NOAA scientists study the ocean's depths and the highest reaches of space to better understand our environment. Our ocean and coasts affect us all, even those of us who don't live near the shoreline. A healthy ocean and coast provides us with resources we rely on every day, ranging from food to medicines to compounds that make our peanut butter easier to spread. And when we think of public health risks, we may not think of the ocean as a factor, but increasingly, the health of the ocean is intimately tied to our health. Intensive use of our ocean and runoff from land-based pollution sources are just two of many factors that stress our fragile ecosystems and increasingly lead to human health concerns. Waterborne infectious diseases, harmful algal bloom toxins, contaminated seafood, and chemical pollutants are other signals. Just as we can threaten the health of our ocean, so too can our ocean threaten our health. And it's not public health alone that may be threatened. Our coastal economies, too, could be at significant risk. So keeping our oceans healthy is more than protecting human health. It's also about finding new ways to save lives. The diversity of species found in our ocean offers great promise for a treasure chest of pharmaceuticals and natural products to combat illness and improve our quality of life. Many new marine-based drugs have already been discovered that treat some types of cancer, antibiotic-resistant staph infections, pain, asthma, and inflammation. And understanding, protecting, and sustainably managing ocean habitats and services are essential to a healthy society. And learning more about the ocean's influence on climate is key to our future. Changing climate and oceans are having significant impacts on the nation's valuable marine resources and the many communities and economies that depend upon them. Warming oceans, rising seas, loss of sea ice, ocean acidification, and extreme events are affecting the distribution and abundance of marine species in many regions. One of NOAA's efforts is to build the Climate, Ecosystem, and Fisheries Initiative, to have an operational ocean modeling and decision support system needed to reduce impacts, increase resilience, and help marine resources and resource users to adapt to changing ocean conditions. As impacts associated with climate change are projected to increase in the coming decades, there is heightened attention on climate intervention strategies. These strategies include negative emissions technologies that remove carbon dioxide from the air. And NOAA is preparing a research strategy that examines how CO2 removal intersects with NOAA mission space and considers how to address knowledge gaps. NOAA's coastal resilience mission produces science and works with coastal stakeholders to provide decision support services, response and recovery and restoration. Recently, the United States released the 2022 Sea Level Rise Technical Report, which speaks to ongoing impacts to coastal infrastructure and specifically how flood risk will change in the next 30 years if no action is taken. Additionally, the Infrastructure Investments and Jobs Act carries out large-scale coastal restoration and resilience projects that improve our nation's and wildlife habitats and strengthen coastal communities. And the new blue economy uses data from the ocean that can and should be used over and over again to address societal challenges and inspire their solutions. Today, there is a need and desire to observe and understand our ocean for near-term benefit, but also in a manner that will preserve this resource for future generations. It's increasingly evident that further improvement in weather and climate modeling requires a more comprehensive treatment of the entire Earth system. And as the ocean and climate experience unprecedented warming, our world continues to deal with frequently increasing severe extreme weather events. Coastal and inland communities alike need more tailored forecasts and products to make decisions, which rely on improving our understanding of the ocean-climate connection. Sea level rise, hurricanes, harmful algal blooms, flooding, and other ocean-related climate risks threaten people and infrastructure. And many of the impacts of these threats can vary significantly depending on the geography and environmental conditions in a place, and therefore local planners need localized climate information specific to their community. So NOAA aims to provide and support high-quality global ocean observing and research to improve our scientific understanding and inform society about the ocean's role in environmental change. The environmental information, tools, and services that NOAA provides helps assess the potential for disproportionate and adverse environmental impacts on humans and the economy, and particularly those from socioeconomically disadvantaged populations. So this is one of the things I'm most excited about with the Blue Boat Initiative. Whales face many threats, including entanglement in fishing gear, vessel strikes, climate change, which may alter their migratory patterns and feeding areas, and the impacts of ocean noise on their ability to communicate, find food, and navigate. So technology can improve the way we monitor ocean health, including marine wildlife like whales, and aid us in taking action to improve and conserve health. The ocean is vast, with much of it inaccessible. Technology advances such as remote sensing through satellites, acoustic methods to map the ocean and listen to its inhabitants, and underwater submersibles allow us to better study and monitor ocean health. In situations where the ocean or its inhabitants, whales, are in poor health or need protection, these same tools help us monitor the effectiveness of various measures designed to improve and conserve ocean health. In addition, some technologies directly help protect the ocean, including whales, by directly reducing or removing threats. So for example, innovative fishing gear technologies like on-demand fishing systems and weak links in fishing line significantly reduce the risk of entanglement to whales by reducing entangling lines in the water column and allow whales to break free if they do become entangled. Passive acoustic monitoring of the ocean ambient sound field is a critical aspect of NOAA's mandate for ocean and coastal stewardship. NOAA's acoustic program develops unique underwater sound sensing tools and technologies such as moorings and gliders to conduct research on how natural and human-made sound impact marine animals and ecosystems. Also, NOAA and the National Park Service here in the US established the Noise Reference Station Network to collect long-term acoustic data sets covering all major regions of the US. Data collected contributes to national monitoring efforts and assess potential noise impacts on marine resources, including endangered mammals and marine fisheries. So NOAA is the lead U.S. federal agency responsible for understanding and working to reduce the impacts of human-produced noise on marine species and their habitats. Passive acoustic monitoring of the ocean ambient sound field is a critical aspect of NOAA's mandate for ocean and coastal stewardship. This includes detecting and characterizing sounds produced and used by living marine resources, natural sources of noise from physical oceanographic processes, and anthropogenic noise sources that contribute to the overall ocean noise environment. NOAA has long recognized the growing threat of ocean noise and has collaboratively developed an ocean noise strategy to improve how we manage and characterize noise impacts. NOAA also continues to work across agencies to advance quieting and other mitigation technologies. We also continue to develop education and communication tools to increase awareness and understanding of sound as a feature of special ocean places, including national marine sanctuaries. The Ocean Noise Reference Station System, which is a network of hydrophones, is a collaborative effort between NOAA and the National Park Service to establish and collect consistent and comparable long-term acoustic data sets covering all major regions of the United States. During the COVID-19 pandemic, NOAA and partners collaborated to analyze data from hydrophones deployed around the United States coastal waters to measure changes and assess any impacts on fisheries and marine mammal activity due to a reduced maritime transportation regime and other maritime activities. NOAA also hosts an acoustic program whose mission is to develop unique acoustic tools and technologies to acquire long-term data sets of the global ocean acoustics environment and to identify and assess acoustic impacts from human activities and natural processes on the marine environment. The U.S. is promoting the identification of methods that are either carbon neutral or carbon reducing in our work to reduce noise emissions from ships. In addition, operational changes such as speed reduction can reduce underwater radiated noise from many vessel types while also reducing broader emissions and collision risk in areas of heightened concern for whales. So, just as vehicles often hit animals on busy roadways, vessels on our busy waterways often strike marine mammals. And because of this, NOAA employs a suite of measures to reduce collisions between vessels and whales. These include both regulatory and voluntary measures depending on the location and population. They're designed to reduce collisions by either separating whales and vessels in space and time, or when this is not possible, slowing vessels down to reduce the likelihood of a strike. And in the event of that a strike occurs, the likelihood it results in a serious injury or death is reduced. On the East Coast of the United States, NOAA established regulations requiring most vessels 65 feet or longer to travel at 10 knots or less in designated areas where highly endangered North Atlantic right whales are likely to be present. In addition, NOAA has worked with partners to reduce vessel strike risks. On the West Coast of the United States, NOAA employs voluntary vessel speed reduction zones to reduce vessel strike risk to blue, humpback, and fin whales. And we've also established minimum approach distances to reduce vessel disturbances to whales, which also reduces the risk of a vessel strike. I love the Blue Boat Initiative project, which has the goal of protecting whales from unintentional strikes in shipping lanes, but also has the benefit of collecting climate information while we are doing the monitoring as a part of the project. And this really fits quite nicely with a lot that we're doing at NOAA. So I'm very proud to be a part of that. Well, in some ways, I think the Blue Boat Initiative is very unique in this broad suite of monitoring projects because it has these combined goals of kind of climate, even carbon sequestration in whales, along with the protection in the maritime environment. And this is interesting to think about in the context of, say, NOAA's Global Ocean Monitoring and Observing Program, which is a federal source here in the US, an international leader for sustained in situ global ocean observing, which provides information for research, monitoring, and prediction. Through this program, we at NOAA support about 50% of the global ocean observing system and more than 1 million ocean observations each day. And this program supports research that studies global ocean conditions and variables such as ocean temperature, currents, waves, sea level, salinity, carbon, and oxygen. And the program aims to observe and monitor the ocean's role in environmental variability and change. It collects and provides ocean observations critical for long-term analysis and forecasting to develop high-quality data sets for monitoring long-term changes. And it also identifies and implements collection of key ocean data sets and develops indicators that best monitor and communicate the characteristics and effects of variability observed in the ocean, in the Arctic, and on their effects on the broader environment. So I see these as being very complementary. The ocean is so critical to the functioning of our ecosystems across the globe and is essential to both understanding and solving the climate change problem. So even if we don't live close to the ocean, it's important to understand how essential the ocean is to functioning on the planet. I'm just so proud to be associated with the Blue Boat Initiative and the work that we are doing together to address some key issues in the ocean, including the protection of whales.